Actually, so we're getting stuck on Gary here because he's taking over Gina here. So we're not going to talk about Gary now. Let's talk about the match. So the match itself, cracking win.
I think we should have won by a lot more, if anything, because we was on it first and second half. We didn't take, and mind was on it the whole time. It's not as if, like sometimes Hastings like go off the ball a bit when the others score, but this time we was fully on it.
Yeah, and what was that about the 6 minutes of injury time till they scored? Where did that come from?
I don't even know.
Unbelievable.
I think there were a couple of minor sit-downs, weren't there? But I don't know about you, but certainly after the Burgess Hill goal last weekend before half-time, when they got that corner just before, when eventually, with about 6 minutes of injury time gone, when they had that corner, you could almost just, honestly, just, it was so and it was just after we'd scored as well. Which to my mind, I mean, we were down on the Hastings side, up the side, and I couldn't see how. I think it was probably the only time that Ben Pope wasn't grappling with one of their players or the goalkeeper, and he got flagged offside for interfering with play. It was about the only time he wasn't interfering with play for the whole game.
Have you seen it on Twitter, the actual video of that?
Well, I've seen. Funny enough, I saw the picture. There was a picture somebody had posted of the goal that was disallowed from behind the goal, and Ben stood well clear. I mean, the keeper's just not saving that, full stop, in my opinion.
No. What it was for a foul on the goalie, as far as I'm aware, and it was where Ben was with him, and kind of the goalie looks like he gets him in like a sort of headlock, and then falls over, and Ben gets called for the foul, which it seemed a bit maybe unbiased.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so well.
Anyway, so 2 cracking goals. Tom Chalmers' effort, I mean, that was class in a glass. I mean, that was such...
It was like a Mike Tyson. It was like the equivalent of a Mike Tyson punch, wasn't it?
It's the one.
What I said to you, you just think, I would love to... I can't imagine what it feels like to hit a football like that. You know, it's like when you do it once, used to do it once every 6 months or something, and you'd hit a ball like that. You just think, how did that happen? Yeah. I can't imagine what it must feel like to do that. What a goal! What a goal! Yeah.
Right, we're dominating here, so I would like Windy and Malcolm to any takes on this?
Over to Malcolm. I wasn't at the game, and Malcolm's got more of an interest. Go on over to Malcolm.
I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I must admit, it was a bit nervy, too nervy for me, I think. I couldn't understand what the disallowed goal was all about until I see it on Twitter, I must admit. And if you look closely, you can see Ben Pope's got hold of the goalkeeper's shirt from behind. He's actually holding on to it, and the goalkeeper grabs him round the throat, I must admit, and pulls him to the ground. But because Ben's also got hold of him, the goalkeeper comes down with him. I can slightly see why it was disallowed, only from Twitter. I couldn't watch it in the game. But
controversial take by the father of Craig.
Yeah, I tried.
No, that's interesting because, like I said, I could see. You could tell from my initial conversation, I couldn't see anything wrong with it initially myself. So
no, but he's got his hand behind him, holding the goalkeeper's shirt, which is why the goalkeeper tries to throw him onto the floor. But of course, Ben takes him down with him.
Well,
That's Ben. That's what Ben does, and that's what a good centre forward to do. You know, 9 times out of 10, you'd actually get away with that because it's hidden. But I think we were by far the better side, I must admit. So you know, it was much deserved. I think it would have been a travesty if they'd scored that header right at the very end and just looped over the bar. And I think everybody's heart dropped then and thought, no, surely not. You know, but it was a good win.
The only thing I would say, did the players, or do you think, especially with Craig, who, I mean, at the back line put in such a shift, do you think we let them on to us a little bit too much? Because those continual balls into the box in that wind, you were really worried that one was going to drop in them, because they only needed to get lucky once, didn't they? And I was worried that we let them on, and the boys at the back absolutely, just really, it was just constant, wasn't it? For 20 minutes.
I think that's why they defended reasonably deep because of that. And if I go back again to the Haywards Heath away, it was very windy up there, and the ball over the top or between Craig and Finney was what caught them out in that wind. And I think that's what was worrying them on Saturday, that there was a ball that was going to be swirling in the air. They one or the other one went for it and got that knock on, and they were through. Especially with when Jay May was on the field, because he's very clever at getting the knock-ons and that sort of thing now. And I think that's why they defended quite deep. And that's, I think, as well, possibly why Gary played with 3 at the back with wing backs, because
and with the plastic pitch as well. Because it has that nasty bounce, especially at that one. I've heard it's pretty ferocious.
Oh yeah, Craig doesn't like that. It's so old, and it's an old type. We used to call AstroTurf really, but it's a little bit better than that. But none of the players like it. It's one of the worst ones around.
Well, I thought it was terrible. I thought it was obviously done by the same company that's done John's hair weave, I think.
There's John sitting there all quiet, not saying a word.
That
Andy's buried you, John. Come on.
Threadbare and uneven.
You can always tell by how many of them black balls come flying up every time the ball bounces. How bad it is. If it's a good one.
Are you talking about John's hair still?
Matt, how many black balls jump out of his head?
But we can get back. We can get back to Robert on this one, because we went. When was it, Rob? About 12 years ago, we went to Ashford. I think it was New Year's Day.
Yeah.
And it absolutely tipped it down, and it got abandoned at half time. I can't remember the score. I think we might have been winning. I can't remember.
I think it was a goalless draw because the ball didn't get anywhere near the box.
Crap. They have improved the pitch.
Threw out the ball. And they went like 10 yards to the left.
Yeah.
He said, right then, that's it. So
cool.
Walking off the pitch, it was bucketing down. And one of the Hastings supporters said, it could be worse. It could be raining.
It's a bleak place there, though, isn't it? It's a bleak place.
Well, that far side, opposite the stand, that's really... When that wind's blown across there,
yeah. That's where we were stood, and it was. But it was worth it.
We didn't notice behind the goals because we were having a good time, weren't we, Gina?
Yeah, we was.
Yeah.
John, was you at the game?
I know, he's very quiet, John.
John, was you at the game?
Oh, me, yes.
Sorry, John. John, your name's John.
Did you? What was your opinion of it all?
That video of Ben Pope leading the singing at the end of the celebration. It was just good. I've also got the disallowed goal from behind the goal, so I might put that on somewhere and we can sort of have a look at that. But
is it the grassy knoll cam? Is this going to prove that it was a goal?
Yes, but I behind the goal, you don't see the overview of the whole game, so you don't see half of what's going on.
Of course, then. Yeah, I know.
And the tactical side of the game, but it was a tremendous atmosphere behind there. I just can't believe there must have been about, what do you reckon, about 500 Hastings there, because their usual gate is 300 or 400 or whatever, and when you looked around, there was all claret and blue, wasn't it? So So
it's great. There was Ben, and I think there's a fantastic picture they put out today, and I remember seeing him at the time. Andrew Cissay's face as he walked along.
I saw that. Fantastic.
He just had this
massive grin on his face.
He had this face. He had a look of sort of bewildered joy on his face. It
was great to see that.
Almost like, I can't believe I'm so lucky as to have landed in this.
Yeah,
he just looked.
I think
so
he just
happy.
In the Mankini.
Yeah.
I knew Gary would come back into this conversation, Wills.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you mentioned Franny Collin earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch up with him on Saturday and sort of rub it in a bit?
I didn't get a chance to. They sort of weren't about too much, were they? And they didn't sort of want to engage too much. No. So I thought Craig would, catch up with Jay May, who he's played with before, and obviously Franny. He was at Gillingham with him, and
well, they both both Jay and Franny had a little spell at Hastings for a little while. So
yeah, and I thought they would sort of engage more, but they didn't. I don't know whether we went downstairs in the bar because they run out of beer upstairs.
I wonder why.
So, yeah.
Jesus.
So
it's carnage, wasn't
it? It was carnage. I mean, they didn't cater upstairs, so they ran out of beer and all sorts. But
yeah, no, it was good crack.
I remember the queue was still out the door.
Yeah,
I was there quite early, so I got in the top bar and
with the hoi polloi.
As you do.
You got in the top bar.
You got in the top bar, yeah. And I watched a lot of the first half from out the window of the top bar, and then wanted to get out and get a bit of atmosphere. So that's what I did. But then they wouldn't let me back in, and I'd left my phone and everything up there by the window, and they said, "No, you've got to go downstairs." So yeah, I said I need to get in there first to get my stuff. I had to go for the back line up the back. So.
And they weren't even going to let us have the drum in there. Gary went and saw the chairman of Ashford and kicked off about the drum.
Yeah, Gary physically grabbed the chairman of Ashford and persuaded him that we should have our drum.
What was their reasons for no drum then? Because it's not in a housing estate or anything like that, is it?
They were saying that the drumsticks are on an offence in the front position.
Really? Oh, we'll have to start using brushes.
Oh,
Yeah, have a jazz accompaniment. Fantastic.
Yeah, my dad would have loved that.
Behind the goal, it's Dave Brubeck.
Yeah.
One for one. Look it up, kids.
Yeah.
But how did he twist his arm? Actually, I don't want to know how he twisted his arm. Gina. He probably did twist his arm. Go on.
Did you do it literally?
No, I just told him it was a joke because we couldn't have the drum.
I know. It was
ridiculous.
We got two. That's what I mean. We got two drums in the end.
Yeah,
well, Gary's
2 drums.
Gary's hassling got us 2 drums. So well done, Gary.
Yeah.
I'd already smuggled the sticks in though before they said we couldn't have the drum.
Yeah, no, I know. There was all sorts going on.
How the sticks was smuggled in.
No, stop it, John.
Down my sleeve.
The family show.
I couldn't bend my arm for 20 minutes.
Yeah, can't hide them in a mankini very well, can you?
No, he couldn't. Right then. Any? I'm sure we'll forget. Well, I mean, there were great scenes. Obviously, after the game, we were all leaping around, being silly. And obviously, Billy would come over, and John embraced Billy. Well, we all did, didn't we? It was lovely, wasn't it? It was just a lovely.
Did you go down in the bar afterwards, Chris?
There was a no.
Did you go downstairs?
After the game?
Yeah.
No, not after the game. I think Andy wanted to get away, and it was the queues are out the door. The queues were out the door, weren't they? And it was just just better.
Yeah.
So tell us, Malcolm, Tom, what was the bar like after?
Oh, it was great. The atmosphere in there was. I think somebody put a tab behind the bar, and it was just carnage in there. They put some music on down there, and nice. It was like, it just, you can imagine the singing that was going on. It was. I think every song came out, and it was good fun in there. I think I left there at about 7:30, 7:45, I think, and I left everyone else there at about on my way to get out the door. It was that full. It was a good evening.
I mean, actually, while you're here, what does Craig think of the game? I mean, it was obviously a massive game. I mean, I know we were saying it weren't a season defining, but still, what's the team think? What's Craig think?
Hopefully he won't listen to this, but to be quite honest, he found it quite easy. He said, they didn't really pose that many problems. And he said it was quite a comfortable game for him, and those that are around him. He said, we never felt as if we were going to lose or even draw. We always, were felt in command of the game. And because I said to him, "Oh, what was you bored?" And normally he goes, "Yeah, I was a bit bored." And he said, he did actually go, "Well, yeah." He said, "We never felt."
He had a bit of light reading while he's waiting for the ball,
That's it. Especially when Jay May went off, and Jay's not got the legs now really to worry too much, but he's big and strong and he's experienced. So, Craig always finds him a little bit of a handful. But I don't think Jay was up for the fight really. I think the first opportunity
dominated by Stoney.
Yeah, him and Finney, I think, dominated Jay Man. I think the first opportunity he got, he said, "I'm out of here."
That was quite nice stuff. Watching it from home, I was quite pleased to see the lineup and see Finn was in there.
Yeah,
I was a little bit worried. I don't know why, because the other lads who cut can cover, but it's just Stone and Finn in the middle. That's solid, isn't it?
Especially given the conditions and the game that Ashford played. I mean, that was what that was why them attacking every ball like they did stop that chance of it dropping in the wrong place, and that was their the main option was the diagonal ball into the box, it seemed, and that's sometimes they got round the back, but not really. And that was the only worry, that it was just going to drop in the wrong place once. And but we always looked as though we could score again, and the goals were so well worked. And we haven't really talked about them, have we? I mean, Ryan Worrell's goal was phenomenal. You know what I mean? It was Interesting thing about both the goals was Andrew Cisse seemed much more tucked in this week. I don't know whether that was deliberate. I suppose it must have been. To me, it looked as though he wasn't just hanging around with the linesman for the whole game. He was much more tucked in, and his runs into the box were instrumental in both the goals. So there was something different going on there, maybe because of the five at the back and the wing backs.
I think it was, Andy. I think that's what he was. Because you had the new guy that gets forward, TC gets forward. Yeah. And I think he was looking at if he kept Cisse coming inside rather than hanging outside, taking up their space.
Okay, so
somewhere to run up the wing.
How did the new guy play? No one's mentioned him.
He didn't look match fit to me. He looked like he was stretching everything after about an hour, and he did go off. So it's probably a difficult game to get involved in. I think he did a good job.
Yeah. But where was he playing? What?
Left wing back.
Okay.
Yeah. Left wing back. He's got vast experience.
I saw that.
Steps higher than what we're playing at, but I got an under-18 cap for Ireland as well.
Yeah.
So he's had a good career, and hopefully he's got a bit more of that with us.
Yeah.
What did you send me, Will?
We did have him there because of OB getting injured in the warm-up. So.
Yeah, it was bloody Andy, wasn't it? What did you send me, Wills, about Tommy? You were interested?
I said I'd misheard slightly, so I thought we'd signed Tommy Cooper, but it's Tommy Cooner.
I'm like, what is this madman sending me now? And then because I hadn't been following Twitter, so I didn't know we'd signed this guy. And then I'm like, why am I getting messages about Tommy Cooper? He's finally gone insane. And then I realised it's
signed him just like that.
Yeah.
I think he'll be. I think once he settles in, it's a tough game to play in your first game, and like I said, I think the pace seemed like the pace got to him after an hour or so. But I think he'll be. He was one thing I noticed again being up the side was the moment he stepped on the pitch, he was talking, so he's obviously got the confidence to slot straight in. So that was interesting, So Craig's really good. Craig's always keeping everybody going at the back. That's quite noticeable again. And this guy was that you could tell he just had that demeanour about him. That was good.
Yeah, we've already got like 2 or 3 captains on the pitch all at the same time. Anyway, Sammy and talking of which, a big game.
600, yes,
600 for Sammy.
600 games.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
So bearing in mind,
Amazing.
he had probably about a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons away from Hastings as well. That's just nuts.
Oh, he has been away then.
Yeah,
yeah.
He went to Rye for a little while, I think.
It's a lot of games, isn't it? If you
And
spend
Hive.
a couple of
Hive,
seasons
I think.
away.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure he was at Hive. I can't remember now, but yeah, he definitely was away for. He was away the season we had the FA Cup run. For he must be gutted about that.
Well,
the big
yeah.
one, Middlesbrough and all that. He missed all that. But yeah, good one. Well done, Sam.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, mate. Yeah. Well, I'm going to get him on eventually.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me to go away politely, but eventually I will get him to come on.
There should be
I'm sure he doesn't say go away.
Cool. No, he's lovely. He's lovely.
He's a nice guy.
I mean, he's lovely.
Yeah.
You just want, go on.
A joint celebration, because I believe it's since Andy's been coming to the club, it'd be his 600th flat white coffee as well.
No such thing at the ground, is there? It has struck me actually whether I should open a pop-up coffee stand, whether that would, how that would fly with the new, a bit of gentrification that won't go amiss.
Billy, I love a bit of that.
I've got a question I forgot to ask last week. How long has it been since they've been selling beer on draft from the club shop? You know, where they sell the shirts and all that.
Only a few weeks.
I'd never noticed it until last week. I thought,
Yeah.
where's that been going? Like on bar.
Can only be after Christmas.
Robert's got a little club shop behind his head, you see, and he needs to put a draft in there for his German lager.
You can't disturb the Hastings shrine.
Yeah. No, I didn't notice it until last week. I thought, wow, good move.
Yeah. Since we've been regularly turning out 1,000 for home games, everything's under a bit of strain. So they seem to be looking at ways to feed and water the masses, don't they?
Yeah. Just
Or
need some more toilets.
Extract cash from them.
Need some toilets up the other end. That's what they need. They'll cut the portaloos.
Well, they need decent beer on tap down that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only in the clubhouse that they've got decent beer.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any decent beer, you won't need any toilets.
That's true.
Only a German could think of that.
Yes. Germans.
Things are important.
They are. Writing, I think, obviously it was a tremendous day. I'm still buzzing from the Ashford game. I'm sure we all are. Moving on from that, did anyone go to the women's game where they won like 12-1, a crazy score?
Mad, isn't it? 10-0 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
10-0 at half time.
We talked about this last week. They desperately need a couple of. It's a pitch they couldn't have parachuted in a couple of levels up. Really,
that's what they need to do.
It's sort of you sort of feel sorry for them having to grind their way through this to get to a level that suits them in a couple of years' time.
It's not doing them any good, really.
No,
is it?
They're
all right. You're winning,
can't they?
Yeah, it'll come.
It's
Gina,
brilliant. It's a shame at the same time.
Gina, you've caught some of the women's games, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the home ones.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just getting sure Gary's come along as well. But is it as the lads are saying? Is it just too easy? It's just
too easy. They're just like walking. It's just like them walking some of the time.
Yeah.
It's one of them sort of things that if you're scared to blink at a women's game because they score so many goals that you're scared to miss one.
Alternatively, you've got plenty of time to go and get a beer because there's another goal coming along in a minute. So.
Yeah. Or in Robert's case, chips.
Yeah, chips. Okay, all right then. Well, then we look forward to. Should we look forward to Saturday? I'm trying to remember who we got. Who we got again?
Hive.
It is Hive, yeah.
Now,
a certain.
Get that mixed up again.
Yeah, so there's a certain John Wills that forgets where Hive is. Malcolm, you weren't around for this one, so we were going to a away day.
Okay.
We were going to Herne Bay, weren't we, John? Was it Herne Bay?
You was.
Hi. Were we going to Herne Bay or something in the sat nav?
Yeah.
Well,
he's going to a completely different place.
No,
and me and his son are like, what are you doing, John? Like, we're not going to Hive. Are you sure it was Hive? Hello, John.
I think I'd given all the stats, you know, sound clever, but I'd read up on it all, and I'd read up on the wrong team.
He's read up the wrong team. He's going the wrong way. Luckily, it was. And me and his son are like, what are you going on about, John?
It's amazing how Robert can drive from Germany in one day to Hastings, no problem at all.
Well,
it used to be no problem.
Yeah, oh, well, that's true.
I will have to fly now.
Yeah. At least we haven't got the signs turned around the wrong way now.
You've been in too much Dad's army, mate.
I have.
Right then. On that note, should we talk about Hive at all? I mean, I'm fully expecting us to turn Hive over.
Should do. But again, they've all got none. Lance improved. None of the games are easy, you know. And look at Burgess Hill; they're really flying now. And I think they're on 7 wins on the trot now. Burgess Hill, but you know, any team can do that in this league. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't think you should take any team lightly. You know, none of them are easy.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine they do. I think that was. I think since Gary's taken over, there's just that little bit. I don't know why. I have a feeling it's a mean thing to say, but I worry that they might have. That game on Saturday was the sort of game they might have lost when Aggie was managing. There's just that little bit more. The resilience was a really major feature on Saturday, and just that. And I think Malcolm said it. They looked as though that we are not losing this game.
Yeah,
and they just had that look. And also they were a little bit more direct when they needed to be, so a bit more pragmatic when in crap conditions, just deal with it rather than fanny around. And they just, I think they'll win more games that they, anything that's close, they'll win them now.
It's great to go. It's going to go away and beat Ashford and things like that. It's going to the Hives and the places like the East Grinsteads and things like that, that you've got to go there with the right mindset to beat these sides, because as I said earlier, every game to the opposition against Hastings is a cup final, and they all raise their game. They all look for a way of beating us and beating us up as well sometimes. And you've got to go to the Hives and East Grinsteads and win them games.
Yeah,
because you know, because it becomes insignificant then beating the Ashfords if you can't go away and beat them. You know,
but we don't look as though we're going to be bullied now. That's another thing. We just don't look as though we're going to, and people like Finn and that make a difference there. We just got that. We just don't look as though we're going to be bullied anymore, because that number 10 of theirs was really his job just seemed to be to bump into people. But he got no change out of them, and he got pissed off because of that. And that's a really good thing to see.
Yeah,
that's a really good thing to see.
And I don't think you can underestimate the effect of having a away support like that. And you know, you can see the appreciation from the players always, can't you, after the games? But what a club to be at! You know, if you had a choice at this level as a player, and you could go and run out in front of 250 crowd or something, or you've got a club like Hastings that are just growing and growing with this fan base. I think it's
international fan base.
Special happening here.
Yeah, and I can speak for Craig here, and it's all about the fans. And it's when you get a big crowd, and when you get like Hastings are getting, that it lifts them that just one level above, and that's why I've never said to Craig or anything like, he does it off his own back. He's always the one at the end that's applaud. They all applaud, but Craig makes sure he does because he appreciates the fans. And I know he enjoys going out. The bigger the crowd, the better he feels, and the more he enjoys the game. You know, it's and enjoys playing. You know, it's all about the fans. So
God, I think that's a wonderful full stop, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. But thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, Windy John, Flat White, Andy, who's soon to have a kiosk in the Pilot Bar, the lovely Gina, and whatever Gary's doing and wearing or not wearing.
Don't tell us.
I'm sure he'll tell us on Saturday. John Wills, obviously Malcolm Stone, thank you very much for coming on, and our German supporters club, Robert, please, we'd love to catch up, please. I want to talk to you again, Rob, and we must get some links going with your local club as well.
Yeah, well, it's been great on the show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice to meet you.
And good luck for the season. I follow the results, of course, and John keeps me updated. It's so amazing that for third season in a row, Hastings is playing top of the league, and they've, I think, avoided promotion twice. And to keep the squad together and a third season in a row playing on top, that's really amazing. That's a great achievement.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
And this time the job will be finished.
It will be. Well, guys, going to see you at a game. Robert, I'm going to see you on Twitter or something. I don't know how. I don't know what we're going to see each other at. But...
You never know. I might be knocking on your door tomorrow.
Okay. Is that a threat or a promise? Or I don't know. On that note, I'll see. I'm just putting the bolts on the doors now, but I'll see you at the game, guys.
You need to, mate. You need to.
Take care.